You're listening to the Caramel Apples podcast, the apple snack that brings you a retro vibe, both crunchy and sweet, with your hosts Kennedy Rizzo and Cooper Lee.
So this week on our Apple Snack, Coop and I are going to be talking about um, the seasons. Now we're in springtime.
Yes, the flowers are blooming.
Thank goodness.
Oh, yes. Time to come out of hibernation.
Oh, totally. And not only seasonally, but like COVID, like everybody's sick of the pandemic.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Can we say, is there such a thing as beyond sick of it?
Yeah, I think that's about what it is on the meter.
And yet we still keep going.
Yeah. But like we've had a couple of thunderstorms here and there. We've had
Yeah.
some rain.
Yeah.
So like Coop said, flowers are exploding with color and fullness, and then the lawns are greening up, the trees are starting to show some signs of life, and
Yep. We got about what, two or three mows under our belts by now.
yeah, and you know what, and I mean, I guess I like spring. Summer's my favorite, and then fall, but spring brings on those seasons. So
Yeah.
like it's pretty when you look at it, especially on like a cloudy day even.
Yeah, especially, it's something about the trees in the fall, obviously. But in the spring, you have those pretty purples and pinks and whites, and it's like, oh, it just looks like a bouquet. If you could just put them
Yeah.
together, it's like, oh, it just looks so nice.
It's very pretty, and it puts you in mind when you think about nostalgia and memories. Like we have a lot of things connected to spring, um, late spring, summertime memories,
Yeah, yeah.
and like you were talking, the blooms and stuff. Like there's some wildflowers that we have here in the Midwest. They're just gorgeous. They're like a orchid, pink and white. Like they're just like the perfect little flower. I think they're just a wildflower. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, yeah. Just gorgeous scenery out there. And, you know, as you said, we've already had some rumbles of thunder, and we know it's not always a good thing when you hear that, especially for some other places. It's kind of dangerous, and you really take cover the minute you know that there's showers forecasted in your area because it could go badly real quick.
Real
Um,
quick.
yeah, and we're not immune to that here either.
Mm-mm.
But there's something very nostalgic about a nice thunderstorm that wasn't dangerous, but just when you're kids, it's like you be in the house, you're like, oh, it's all safe in here, and you'd hear the thunder and that steady rain and
Yeah.
yeah, and thinking about that, because then whenever there was a storm while you were at school, I remember that I did like inside recess when it was thunderstorming outside. That was all cool. But then you think about the nice days and springtime, especially when this rolled around for us when we were in elementary school. Um, do you remember we had field day?
I do.
Yeah, we'd have our little, I think they are called like, just brown bag it, bring your brown bags, and that's what you would eat out of. Everybody's outside eating, and we'd have all these little competitions and stuff, and they would give out, I think it was first, second, and third place little ribbons for the kids, and it was so much fun. And you're out there with your little buddies, and
Yeah,
um,
field day.
yes, field day.
It's field day. Like we went to a rural. We live in a rural community, so we went
Yep.
to rural schools, and I mean this was big deal. Like
Yeah.
you knew you were just days away from
Yes.
from educational freedom, like at least institutional educational freedom. Yeah, and it's crazy because like around here where we live, like most schools, there was some other country schools around. They get out like the last week of May.
Yeah.
we lived in, if you want to call it that, town, and they'd always get cute and we'd be like the first week of June.
Yes, it's like, oh, there's a point you're making, but we don't know what it is, and we don't like this.
The point they're making is you all want black eyes because we need you out of this prison. You need to let us have fun. Come on,
That's right.
get your clothes out of our backs. But yes, I will take that ribbon. Thank you.
Yes, yes, and the teachers were probably looking forward to field day as well. And when we got into high school, the exam days, because they didn't have to put up with us for much longer.
Yeah, yeah. And those exam days were shorter days, like because I
Yes.
mean, our typical day at school was what 7:30 to or 7:30 to 3 o'clock at the time, a little after.
Yes.
I think that's even changed because we don't have kids, of course, So but you see the bus dropping them off,
Yeah.
or kids, mothers picking up their kids. It's early 2:30 now. I mean,
Yeah, I can't keep up with it. I really can't. We talk to our friends who have kids that are like all different ages. We do have a few that are in the high school group now. And yeah, it just seems like it's all over the board anymore. I don't know what
yeah,
changed, but school is very almost clinical now, seems like. I don't know.
yeah, they were much more hard on us when we were going, and I mean, we did it. Like it didn't kill
Yeah.
us, but I mean, it's like it was a lot more strict, structured. Like now, it's kind of. I mean, they still have a schedule, if you want to call it that, but it's a little more willy nilly.
Oh yeah.
They're always out.
Yeah, they are always out, which, brings us to, now you get around to like friends and family vacations and, getting to go here and there.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we did just have family friends, a second set of parents who just left. When did they leave, Kennard?
Literally like 3 hours ago.
Yes, it was so much fun.
It really was. It was like it took us back. So our podcast is all about memories, nostalgia from the 70s and 80s. That's when we grew up.
Yes.
And like Coop said, this family, they were our second parents. Like
Yep.
they are very special to us. And we were so glad that we got to see them again because they're older. They're dealing with some health ailments, like our parents are older, dealing with health ailments.
Right.
And we are so grateful that we got to enjoy 8 or 9 days. Was it 8 or 9 days they were here?
Yeah, and it literally went by like a snap. Like
It
it
did.
went so fast.
It did. It did. It did. I mean, it was a beautiful time. I mean, in like a lot of conversation,
Yeah.
a lot of entertainment, good food, good
Yes.
times, good
Yeah.
games.
Yep. We had to roll up our pre-pandemic sleeves because we had lost our edge. We hadn't done this entertaining thing for a long time, but I think it worked out really well.
It did. It did. And everybody's hearts was just full of love and good
Yes.
times. It was like you just push pause and now we have new memories from the last couple of weeks. So
Yes. But although they did drive out this time, they did drive pretty much across country.
yes, they did.
I think they did say that next time we'll probably be flying. But we will gladly welcome that if they are so inclined to come back, because it's been a long time coming for this trip, and everyone's getting older, and like you said, we're all dealing with things health wise, so you just never know. So we're
Yeah.
thankful for what we had this time for sure.
That's true. And like when they were here, we actually the weather was decent a couple of days. So
Yeah.
we got the barbecue, which you think of spring and summer with barbecuing.
Yes, and your husband is an ace at that, so that was delish.
He's the grill master. He is owed to him.
I'm still waiting for his restaurant to go up. So
yes, me too.
yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one.
But it was so cool because I don't know, like it just I feel like we got a little bit of an appetizer for what's to come for the season this year.
Yeah, and it was really nice because, like, when we take our own family vacations, one of the things that we really look forward to is just straight up game playing. That is how we unwind. We have the Monopoly game that will go for about 6 days.
Literally.
it'll just go on forever and ever. And, there's other games sprinkled in there. And we just love game time with our family. And, when you're back at home and you're, back to the grind, you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
And I think this is something we probably should really look into doing is just have a game night every couple months or something, just so that we can get together. We'll just sponsor it at mom and dad's house. What do you think?
That would be great. Then we can keep, an eye on them, those two little ornery bugs
I
too.
know, right? But that was something we got to do with them coming this time. We got to experience game night here at home and not just on our own vacation. So I know that was kind of like really a highlight. So
No, it really was, and then, we're all grown and everything, but, back to the school talk real quick, a lot of times you think about graduations and proms and that
uh,
kind of stuff.
yes,
Which,
yes.
which Coop and I, we didn't mess with prom. I mean, like,
No.
we just didn't. So,
We've seen enough movies with proms in the 80s and the 90s. We're good.
and now, in retrospect, we missed out on wearing some ugly behind dresses. No, I take that back because my graduation party was a dance party, kind of like a prom, and we did,
Yes, it was.
and we wore
Yes,
some
it was.
ugly behind dresses. I don't
Yes,
know,
we did.
but the cake was good. Actually, you can't say that the cake wasn't
Yes.
good.
Bravo on the cake. Yes. But like you said, we've entered that time period and we've got about what is it? About three.
Three.
Three graduations this year. So,
Boom, boom, boom.
'tis the season.
It is. It is, and it's like we're like 1 minute we're shoveling snow,
Yes.
and now it's like birds are chirping, and it is graduation time, and we're about
Yes.
to roll into summer.
Yes. And any idea if they're going to be online? Do you think they're doing like the Zoom parties or do you think they're going to try in person ones? What's your thoughts?
I don't know. I haven't actually heard any solid tricklings on that,
Yeah, same here. Same here.
but knowing a couple of the parents, I could see them doing a Zoom thing. I don't know though. I don't know.
Yeah. And I bet you though it'll probably be a last minute thing. Like, okay, numbers are down, so we're going to try to do this party thing. It may
Yeah.
just really be last minute what they decide to do. So,
Yeah, yeah. These kids are troopers too. I mean, well,
yeah.
excuse me, young adults, because I mean,
Yeah.
these are their memories. They're going to have COVID memories.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
goodness.
my graduation party was on Zoom. Good time, buddy. Me and the screens.
Yeah, who knows what they'll be like in 20 years? They'll be like, what's Zoom? Because it'll be some other platform, some other type of thing. We won't even be around to see it probably. So
You never know.
you never know.
Oh goodness. So one more
Yeah.
thing, like when things really open up and it gets to be about, steady in the 80s,
Yeah.
where it's comfortable, and then it'll be time for the pool. So
Yes, which we have talked about Kennard's favorite season, which is summer, and you can guarantee if you want to find her, she will be poolside most of the time.
yes, totally no other way. That's the way it's gotta be. Me and my icy drink.
Yes, yes, but that sounds like good times to me.
Me too. Me too. And we're right at the cusp of it. We're about to enjoy it. So
Yes, we are.
well, stay tuned, Orchard Archivers. This is not the end of us. We're going to be trying to enjoy the seasons as we just discussed, but, hang out with us. We're going to be still talking about, you know, we're going to dissect some more of the pro wrestling, WrestleMania, WWF thing. We're going to talk about some of our favorite wrestlers, here over the next few weeks. And um, since we're fresh off of our season finale, I think that'll be appropriate for your retro ears.
Absolutely. And you can guarantee that the hubbies were definitely happy to hear that that saga was going to continue. So,
Yes. Now they can remove the pitchforks from behind our backs. We're going to do it. Stop pushing.
message received. Tis the season. So, we're prepared.
Yep. Spring and summer, bring it
Yeah.
on.
How about an ice cream cone?
That sounds pretty good, actually. It really does. I don't care what time of year it is. Hey.
Yeah. No problems there. And that's it for this week's Apple Stack. But as you know, there's always more where that came from. So stay tuned. Subscribe, review, and spread the word. See you next time in the Retro Orchard, and thanks so much for listening.